back. We're so back, baby. Welcome back, main character girlies.
Woo!
In case you missed it, we were just singing Breaking Free, Zac Efron, Vanessa Ann Hudgens.
Circa High School Musical, the first one and the best one.
The best one.
It is the best one.
Yeah, the third one was in theaters. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I was like, how did it make it from Disney Channel to the theater?
You know what I hate though? Like, you know when you see a Disney Channel original movie versus a real movie and like you notice the quality is different? I feel like the first two give me such nostalgic quality when I see Disney Channel original movie. And now like when I didn't see that in the third, I'm like, I don't want to watch that.
Yeah, it looks too like pristine
Yeah.
and put together. It's
Yeah.
like, we don't want that. But it did have a movie soundtrack.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
True.
you like that stuff. The State of Cinema was at a good place during
That's
that
when
time.
the State of Cinema was good for a cinephile.
But okay, can we just talk about how it's Libra season and it's fall? Woo! Wait, I just found out before you came here that Miles and I have the same birthday.
He told me. I was like, that's why you have such good juju.
I didn't know he was a Libra.
We love Libra energy.
Yeah, Libra energy is amazing. Okay, but speaking of fall, give me your fall ins and fall outs because I don't think we're the same fall vibe.
Wait, why do you think we're not the same fall
Okay,
vibe?
I like haunted houses. Do you like
Yeah.
haunted houses?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
I mean, okay. Like, no, actually, I don't. I mean,
I think you would think that's so cringe and very uncool.
no, I like a haunted house, but like not really. I would never go because it's like not my vibe. Like for me, fall vibes are girls' trips to Salem and like crunchy leaves, Uggs, leg warmers, Bordeaux reds, burgundy, maroon, browns, chunky sweaters, Princess Diana uniform.
Okay, mine are haunted houses, pumpkin patches, spooky season.
Pumpkin spice lattes.
Yes, pumpkin spice lattes. Also, the best pumpkin spice latte is get a iced blonde vanilla latte from Starbucks and get pumpkin cream cold foam.
Oh, I actually know about the blondness because I used to
So
get that.
good.
Now, I will be honest, I've fallen out of favor with Starbucks and it just tastes like shit to me now. Like it doesn't taste good. I
Really?
feel like it has an aftertaste. I don't like it.
I don't like their matcha. Their matcha sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, but okay, and fall also means, I know we can agree on this one, Gossip Girl.
Yeah.
Gossip Girl.
Tis the season to rewatch Gossip Girl season 1 because the pilot episode of Gossip Girl may be like the best pilot in like television history.
Except the mom is different or the dad is different in the first episode.
Oh no. Okay, Blair's mom is different.
Yeah.
I actually thought she was like a better fit, but like Eleanor Waldorf is also iconic.
Yeah.
But that is probably the best show in CW history.
Ever.
The fashion, the soundtrack, the fact that it was actually filmed in New York, like Gossip Girl has such a special place in my heart. I feel like New York City is always iconic, but I feel like for our generation, it really helped romanticize the city. That Devil Wears Prada, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, 13 Going on 30. I feel like for us, like those are like such critical coming of age movies that helped like
I was never into Gilmore Girls though. I never
Same.
got into it.
It's
But
boring.
okay, but fun fact, if
They
you
talk so quietly.
Yeah.
It's so
And
like,
there's
it
no
makes you wanna-
spice to it. I'm like, what
Yeah.
are we watching?
It makes you want to go to sleep.
Exactly. But if you start Gossip Girl episode 1 on October 5th and watch one episode a day, you'll get to the Thanksgiving episode on Thanksgiving.
Wait,
We're going to do that.
Wait, can I tell you, real talk, I actually, for the first time I started Gossip Girl when I was in college, but it came out when I was like in middle school, high school. So I was a little late because, you know, I was very sheltered. So it felt inappropriate for me at that age. Like I literally didn't watch
The
it.
threesome was inappropriate.
So I actually organically started Gossip Girl my sophomore year of college in fall. And guess what? I actually watched the Thanksgiving episode on Thanksgiving.
Shut up.
That's how Kismet it was. It was
That's
literally
crazy.
meant to be that show.
The Jason Derulo moment will live rent free in my head.
What you say?
And then it's like, oh, like,
And then Ruben was like,
despair.
Plymouth Rock. And everyone's like, shut the fuck up, you fucking cock.
Okay,
You fucking catch man.
can we watch it together? Let's start it together and watch one
Yay.
episode a day.
I love that.
I was over at Jasleen's place, and we actually watched the threesome scene for reasons I can't disclose on the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
But we were all like, wow, this is as good as it used to be.
I mean, if we were trying to do our research, that was a good place to start. And can I say another thing about Gossip Girl? You know how iconic Kelly Rutherford is? She played Lily
Iconic.
Van all the Birkins in the show were hers.
No way.
Yeah, like those are her Birkins she brought to set.
She was the only person that went to Ed Westwick's wedding. They're
Yeah,
still
I
besties.
saw
They're
that.
mom and son.
Oh my
Okay, you
god.
know what's really embarrassing though?
Yeah.
So Blake Lively was the only person on the cast that nobody really liked or got along
Yeah.
with. She
And
posted.
she
Why?
posted.
That's so embarrassing.
Wait,
Why
I
did she post the
no.
Gossip Girl stuff?
Okay, I felt it so embarrassing because I was like, bitch, you know damn well Chase Crawford, Leighton Meester, Ed Westwick, Taylor Momsen,
Penn
and Penn
Badgley.
Badgley don't give a fuck about you. And you know what? I think it's very telling that when she was going through all that tamasha with Justin Baldoni,
Yeah.
that not one of them had anything to say to defend her.
Yeah, in fact, there were notes of saying like she was difficult to work with. We don't
Yeah.
know who was saying it.
Yeah, and like we saw like little clips of her kind of like ragging on them, and it's
Yeah.
like, bitch, sit the fuck down,
But
okay?
also so embarrassing.
But I also feel like that was like a PR guided thing of like, hey, since your image is still really in disrepair, let's like lean back into the nostalgia of Gossip Girl. And I have to say it kind of worked where 50% of me was like, oh yeah, Blake's via
I
Gossip
loved
Girl.
it.
I loved Blake via Gossip Girl, and then just like everything lately, like I'm not into.
Yeah, it just felt too forced. I still
Yeah.
did feel a little bit of nostalgia. I'm like, oh my God, I love these
Same.
photos.
Yeah,
but I'm
yeah.
like, nobody commented. How
Yeah.
embarrassing
Yeah.
to post photos with everybody that nobody's right.
Yeah. And also, random fun fact, Ed Westwick's current wife, she used to be in some Bollywood movies.
No
Because
way.
I think she's like Slavic kind of origin. So these Indian directors would like import Eastern European baddies for like the behind the background scenes, or like to like just like pretend to teach them Hindi or dub
Yeah.
Hindi, because like they obviously don't like brown skin girls, like actually brown skin girls, and they're like, oh, she looks Indian enough.
She's gorgeous.
She's gorgeous.
Oh my God. And their wedding was everything. And also, I love him in his baby daddy era.
Yay.
Oh God. I love Gossip Girl. We're going to watch it. We're definitely.
Actually, I love the episode of Chase Crawford on Call Her Daddy too.
So good.
One of
So
the best
good.
episodes.
Also,
that she's
he's
done.
super underrated. I don't know if you watch The Boys,
Yes!
but I love him on The Boys.
I never watched that show, but like he's on my hall pass list.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Chase Crawford, Jacob Elordi, Austin Butler, and who else?
Michael B. Jordan. I love a pretty boy, which is why I like Chase Crawford, Michael B. Jordan. They're all so pretty to look at.
Dean Thomas from the Harry Potter movies, which you haven't seen. We have to. Okay, for fall, Nahal hasn't watched Harry Potter, so we have to go.
I'll come over. We could do a sleepover in Harry Potter.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that sounds like a vibe.
That's so fun.
And do you like grilled cheese and soup? Because that's my vibe.
Okay, but
We are fall babies.
No,
We're
everyone has to go get tea at Baccarat because they have the best grilled cheese and tomato.
down.
soup.
Wait, also we need to check out Fonte's Deli, the new Bottega.
Bottega.
Bottega, I mean bodega.
No,
Bottega
okay.
on my mind, clearly.
Funny story about Fonte's. So Akash and I were actually and are actually investors and a part of the team because the owner of Fonte's and Fontainius Chai Shop, he's like best friends with Akash, and they used to do a podcast together. And so I'm really good friends with them, and I'm like so happy for their success. I actually haven't been yet, but Akash brought me a lamb baguette sandwich yesterday.
How was it?
It was so fire. I took a bite, and I swear to God, the first thing I said was like, yo, this is actually so fucking cool because I've never had a sandwich like this before. Like
It's unique.
masala, yeah, lamb in like a hearty baguette. Like I fucking love that, you know?
Also, they have a lot of good vegetarian options. But hey, I was thinking actually, you should talk to Akash about this. What if we did like a little fall pop up there to do this kind of night with the girlies and meet the main character girlies in person?
Yeah. Oh my God.
I know,
you're
we're like
speaking my
brainstorming out loud
language.
right now, but that would be so fun. And we do like the whole sandwiches, like fall wear. We watch Gossip Girl on the big screen together.
Yay. Wait, I'm
Let's talk
so-
about this off the
Okay,
record.
Okay, let's talk about this. Off the
Yeah, off the record as we talk on the record. No, but have you, like, you told me people have been telling you they've been into the pod. I've had some similar stories too. So I think we should give a shout out to the girlies.
Yay! Okay, so shout out to everyone that has supported us so far and that people that follow our individual platforms. Because honestly, without you guys, we wouldn't be here and we wouldn't be able to live our dreams. And Happy's really excited too about it, clearly.
Yeah, I actually ran into people from my college days. So recently I went to an event and I ran into people from my college days. And I'm not going to lie, I get more anxiety seeing people that I know than people that I don't know. Like, put me in a room with people I don't know, I thrive. But if I know you from 9 years ago, I'm like anxious. I'm like, I don't know where we stand. Are we good or
Why
whatever?
is that? Do you
I
feel
don't
like
know.
they're going to judge you?
I think so. And it makes me uncomfortable knowing that they watch my content sometimes because I'm like,
Yeah.
am I oversharing? Am I doing too much? But these two girls came up to me and they were like, we love your podcast. We listen to it. And girls doing that, like women doing that to other women and hyping them up, like makes my entire day. That is
Yeah.
the reason I do it. So if you're listening to this podcast, thank you for coming up to me and validating it. Because sometimes we also think like, who's watching this actually?
Yeah.
Who's listening? I'm oversharing about my roofied story or like running away story. And like, who's actually listening and watching?
No, honestly, with content, it's so weird because sometimes it feels like you're just like talking to a mirror. Like it doesn't, because it goes through cycles and you're not always getting that validation or that dopamine in the form of likes or comments because people are busy and like
Yeah.
content fluctuates. So when you actually can get that like one-on-one feedback, it means so much more than you guys know. And I've also had similar stories of women coming up to me. So thank you guys from the bottom of our heart. Like you have no idea how much it means to us, truly.
Also, you guys, I think also Jasleen is so funny because I recently read a comment about somebody writing to her saying, like, "You should go on tour with your husband." And she goes, "I love you, but no."
I would
Stop
never
inviting me places. Stop inviting me places.
honestly, I would never go on tour because I would just I would underdeliver on your expectations so badly. I would be like, "Hey, like, I wouldn't be funny. I don't know how to do stand up in any sense. I don't wanna do stand up. Like, the only role I can play is lead, and, like, that's being myself.
Yeah.
Like, even, like, people have asked me, like, if I ever wanted to get into acting, and I'm like, "No, because I can only act like myself." Like, what like, the closest character to me is probably Maddie from Euphoria. Like, I
Yeah.
could probably play that role, but even then, like, she does such a good job, like, portraying the emotional depth, like, I can't fucking do
Well,
that.
everyone's watching that new Huda commercial that you sent me, and she's
Oh,
a good actress,
yeah,
and
yeah.
she's playing herself. So
Yeah.
if she can do it, I think you got it in you
I mean,
too.
a beauty collab, the bar is lower. I could be like, what,
Your glass skin
Mamacita?
collab. You need a glass skin collab.
Yeah, I do.
Everyone comments in every video, "Hey, you're glowing. I know you went through trauma, but what is your skincare routine?"
I know, but the worst part is like when I actually upload skincare videos,
No.
no one fucking watches. So I'm like going crazy and I'm like, shut the fuck up already. Like, obviously, I really appreciate it. And I will say, like, the glowing skin, I don't take any credit. It's all like the dermatological treatments I do.
Yeah.
So,
But I just am so lucky for the community we've created, and we're
yeah.
just getting started. I think the best slash worst comment we've gotten is somebody was like, "The only problem I have with your podcast is you don't put episodes out enough frequently." I wish we could do this every week. I mean, one day we'll get to it, but
Yeah.
right now, every other week is kind of the vibe.
Yeah.
Because it takes a while for us to think of topics also and be like in a headspace to want to record.
Yeah.
It is a full day experience coming here, recording, and then going home.
No, totally.
But this week, we're kind of doing a little back to back situation, as you've noticed.
I know. Also, like, I kind of
I
like
kind
it.
of like it too. I was like
kinda
looking
liked it.
forward to seeing you.
Yeah, same.
But you're going to Dubai and I'm going to Greece.
Yes.
So that's why we're kind of doing a little episode ahead of time. But what are you doing there? Give everyone an update.
Okay, well, the thing is I may be going to Dubai. So with me, like my travel is always like 50-50 because like half the time we back out. So I'm supposed to be going to Dubai because is there for the Dubai Comedy Festival. So basically, I just want to go because I've never been. My mom lives in India, so she can like easily meet me.
Yeah.
But I also kind of wanted to go the following month because they have Dubai Watch Week. And so some of our friends invited us and they have like this sick yacht. And like, obviously, that's like
Yes.
a one of a kind experience. So I kind of was like, should I go in November? But I don't know. So basically, if I go, I'm just going to like literally relax, go shopping, and like just look at the sites. And like, I just like, whenever I go, I just want to relax, like eat good food and like just chill. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not like trying to like see a bunch of stuff. I mean, it's nice to like do the touristy things, but like nothing crazy.
Yeah. But I'm going to Greece. I'm going to an Indian wedding in Greece, one of my best friends' wedding. And this was a girl, by the way. We were dating the same guy at the same time. She was the other woman. I was the other woman for my narcissist cheating ex.
Ah.
The lore is loring.
Wait, but there's one that you don't like, but this girl
Yeah,
you're
this
friends
one.
with.
Yeah, this one. We were going through the same shit at the same time a decade ago, and yeah,
That is so Nahal to be like, she's so friendly and like social. She's like, so do you want to like hang out after
no.
this?
So I hated her. I hated her, and she hated me. And then years later, when we broke up with him, we're like, clearly he has fucking great taste. Okay, so let me see what it's about. We go on a trip together, and we put together a timeline.
You went together on a
Yes.
trip?
And we put a timeline together.
Oh my
And the
God.
timeline was insane of when he was with her, when he was with me, the overlap.
I'm just picturing that meme where the
Yeah.
guy's writing all the
That was us.
equations.
That was us. And she was a bridesmaid for my wedding, and I'm going to be a bridesmaid for her
Wait,
wedding.
that's actually so iconic. And speaking of iconic, can we talk about your crazy like Indian wear closet in your house? She just has this full, like, closet of, like, saris and, like, Indian, like, suits that she can, like, pick from, and I'm, like, really jealous.
You know why though? I also have 3 sister-in-laws, and so I'm always using all of their shit.
I love that.
I know, we have so much Indian clothes,
Oh my
but
god.
I'm excited for your vow renewal so I can whip some nice outfits
Oh,
out.
speaking of that, I actually have to plan it so it comes to fruition, so I need to fucking do that, so thank you for reminding me.
Yeah, because that's the next big event that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
But, okay, we need to segue into some questions the girlies have been asking.
Yay.
First of all, red and green flags while dating.
Let's discuss red flags. How do you feel about love bombing?
Okay, I
'Cause
think
I feel like it can go both ways.
exactly.
Like,
That's
I don't
I
think
kinda
it
love it. If you
Yeah.
if you love bomb me, I'm like, "Oh, you really love me." But I guess that's the whole bombing portion of
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. I think it depends on, like, what is, like, being done.
Yeah.
So, for example, if you read It Ends With Us, you'll know that the male protagonist, well, not I shouldn't say protagonist, maybe antagonist, but he knocked on every single door in her apartment until he found her door. I feel like something like that is a little much. Like, it seems romantic in his gesture, but
Yeah.
not really. I think more like sending you flowers, like just being really attentive to you early on. Like I remember Akash, he used to send me like these voice notes and videos because it was my last year of college. So he'd be like, "Good luck on this test, you'll kill it." And he
That's
would send me like,
cute.
yeah, a selfie video or like just small things. Like I remember I was like meeting someone for an interview when I stayed with him for a weekend. It was like my first time staying with him and I didn't know, like I wasn't super familiar with the city, and he sent me like step-by-step directions as
Oh,
soon as I got out of his house, which seems like, small, but it was actually really sweet, and I never had someone do that for me. So I
yeah.
think more of a green flag is just like paying attention and like planning things ahead of time and just showing you that they care and they have that attention to detail in the beginning. But if it like ever escalates into like kind of like invading your privacy,
Yeah.
then that's probably like a red
And
flag.
also for me to add on to that is like, yeah, red flag is controlling and like it
Yeah.
comes off as like, okay, wait, do you love me or are you just trying to control every aspect of my life?
Yeah.
But something that I think is a huge green flag is not being jealous of your partner. And
Yes.
that's really hard being a content creator. So on my first date with Nav, he was asking me like what I like to do. And I was like, oh, I like to content create and take photos for my Instagram and things like that.
Mhm.
And he went around the entire city of San Francisco taking photos of me, telling me what angles to do, saying like you should upload this one. And in that moment, it was like,
Aw.
okay, he really like values I have a career here and he's willing to
Yeah.
support it. Versus men say they're okay at the beginning. They're like, "Oh, we love content creators. We love a baddie." Bitch, you can't handle a baddie.
Yeah.
Most men cannot handle a brown baddie.
Yeah.
Like they say they want it, but they can't handle it.
See, that's so true. And first of all, that's so sweet because I didn't even realize that you were creating content when you met Nav.
Yeah.
And I will say similarly with Akash, like he's never ever policed what I wear, nor does he give a fuck. Like I could be wearing, for lack of a better term, like the sluttiest fucking outfit, and he'll be like, "Oh my god, you look so hot." Like the only thing he would ever say is like, "Oh, just be careful, like if you don't want anything to pop out, like whatever." But he never gives a fuck, and I feel like for me that's the biggest green flag because I feel like so in theory, you think that you want a guy to be like playfully jealous and be like, "Oh, don't wear that," or,
Yeah.
"I want to be protective of you," or this and that. It's not actually how it is. A guy that polices you or polices what you wear or like doesn't want you to go out is not going to be the Christian Grey type of guy. He's actually going to be the guy that gets mad at you, gets insecure, causes fights with you, and makes you feel low and like you're doing something bad. Like, don't confuse the two because I feel like there is a romanticization element of like jealous guys and how that can be protective. Protective is totally different than jealous. And I, not to compare men to dogs, but with dogs, what they say is like the alpha of dogs is actually the quiet, calm dog, and it's not the dog that's always barking. So I kind of apply that with men. Like the dog, sorry, the guy, the dog,
The guy,
the
the
guy,
bitch.
the guy that's always like talking and barking and like saying all this shit to you, he's not the alpha. He's
Oh, for
insecure
sure.
and he has small dick energy, to be honest. Like you want a guy that's like calm and secure. And honestly, whenever I think of your husband, like that's what I think of. Like Nav is so secure in his energy. He's confident, but he's not like overcompensating. And I feel like that's actually so rare to find that when I'm around him, I feel like his calmness just like goes over the whole room. Like I actually feel like so comfortable in his presence, even though we don't know each other like super long, you know?
And I think that's also a big thing is, like, how men are with other men. Like, I
Yeah.
see how Nav and Akash interact, and it
Yeah.
makes me so happy.
Yeah.
Like, it's like I trust these people to
Mhm.
take care of us, to like, safety, security. I feel so much love in the room and respect. You see mutual respect. No one's trying to size up the other person. It's like this
Yeah.
community of like, "Hey, I love what you do. I love what you do." We say "I love you" to each other. Like, men
Yeah.
don't do that.
Yeah.
Okay, even I'm not gonna lie though, at the beginning when you and Akash were saying like love you to Nav was like, I love that they do that because no one really says love you in our friend groups and stuff. Like guys don't
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
And so I kind of love that. I don't what would you call it like a feminine? Like I like that when men are more like intact with their emotions and
Yeah.
stuff.
I think it's funny you said that because I didn't really do that, but Akash started doing that. And I think he even talked about this on the podcast, but he said, like, after Kobe died, of course, everything goes back to Kobe
Everything, every
dying.
brown boy and
Yeah.
Kobe somehow.
It's a Roman Empire, but, like, I think he just said, "I realized, like, how fragile life can be," and, like, to him, Kobe was someone that was, like, so indestructible, so it's like, why am I ever gonna feel embarrassed? Like, life is so short, you never know what could happen, so I wanna let people know I love them, and so, like, he'll say it to everyone, and it's actually really sweet, and now I feel like I say it to everyone too, and I like it because I
Me
genuinely
too.
do, like, I mean, obviously, I genuinely love you guys, but even people, like, that I'm not as close with, it's like, "Oh, why not?" You know?
Yeah, except when I told you to say love you to the influencer and you're like, I don't know her. You don't love anybody online.
Wait, which one?
Remember yesterday, I was like, "Oh," or the last episode, I was like, "Oh, I love this influencer." You're like, "I don't love her. I like her."
Yeah, I don't know her. It's only the people I know in real life.
Okay, other green flags.
A guy that can go down on you properly.
Or just being able to make you comfortable to talk enough about your sex life. Because
Yeah.
it is awkward at the beginning.
Mhm.
It is so awkward.
Yeah.
When you wasn't it awkward for you and Akash at the beginning too? Or no, you were able to talk to him really easily?
I think that that came with time, and I feel like how I was telling you, like, reading the romantic novels helped us create kind of a dialogue of, like, what we like in the bedroom, because even though you are married to someone and that's your partner, it can feel like an uncomfortable topic, especially for me. Like, I would get so red, and I would still have a lot of shame, and I don't know what the fuck kind of repressed thisy girl, like,
For
tendency
sure.
that is, but I feel like now I have more of a dialogue where I can talk about that kind of stuff and say what I like and what I don't
Yeah.
like, and, like, yeah, that feels nice.
I just thought you always have to please the guy. Like that's what I thought was the end
Mm.
game of sex. When I learned about it growing up and stuff, I thought that's what it meant. And so,
Wow.
because in culture, it's like you have sex to have a baby and that's
Mhm.
it. So then it's like, I don't know what feels good. When I got my first vibrator in my mid 20s, I would say, I finally was like, wait, this feels amazing. I remember using that thing so many times because I was like, holy fuck, what is this? And
Was
then
it just like that little,
the
like,
Lilo. The
Lilo
Lilo. It,
sponsor us?
I use the color black not for reasons that you think. I just thought it was a neutral vibrator. Okay, wait, funny story.
Yeah.
One time I was using my vibrator at my parents' home and in my childhood bedroom. Okay, I was home for like 2 weeks.
Wait, can I also ask what kind of porn do you watch when you use a vibrator?
Okay, not gonna lie, I don't watch porn while using a vibrator. What? I just think my imagination is vibration enough.
Wow. I actually have a lot of respect because
you.
I don't think I would be able to do that, number 1, and number 2, my OCD would never in my intrusive thoughts, like, would keep getting
No, I
interrupted.
sometimes think of like my own husband while I'm like doing it.
Wait, that's kind of baller, but I
Yeah.
could never do that.
Yeah. And so I was using it at
But
my
you have ADHD. Don't you, like, start thinking of random shit?
No, I focus on the task at hand, okay? At hand, literally.
So if you think of your husband, do you think of him, like, doing anything to you, or you
Yes, I think of him doing all of the things to me.
Okay, okay.
And so I was using it in my childhood bedroom in the shower, and then I left my thing in the shower or whatever. I went to go get lunch with a
In
friend.
the shower?
Yeah, because it's waterproof.
That's amazing. This is like a book. Like, I feel like I've read this before.
Oh, in one of your romantic novels?
Yes!
Don't use it in your next experience, please. No, but anyways, I come home and I notice that my vibrator is gone from the shower. And so I was
Oh,
like, what
no.
the fuck is going on here?
That's an audience.
She puts it near all my face stuff, and I think she thought it was a facial, like, it was like one of the Mia facial cleansers. And so I go and look at it, I pick it up, and I was like, this is the most embarrassing thing ever, but you know what? This is the best way it could go. And then I just like hide it, and I was like, oh mom, did you go into my room? She's like, yeah, I reorganized your bathroom.
And you're like, she'll never
She'll
know.
never know.
Wait, okay. Similarly, me and Akash, we have these ties on, like, our bedposts, And, like, the cleaning lady was like, "Oh, Jasleen, what are these ties?" Actually, that's not even a good it's
Yeah,
like a Caribbean accent. She's like, "What are these ties?" I'm like, "Oh, they're for fucking working out or whatever the fuck." And then, like, my nieces the other day, they were they were, like, watching me do my makeup, and they pull, like, a feather duster
you are kinky.
from under the bed, and they're like, "What's this? What's this?" And I'm like, show Akashwaserji." And they show him, and he starts laughing, and I'm like, just give that
You're like,
back.
"I wanna be a maid for Halloween, dust
It's just to play with the dogs."
But it's just so funny moments like this happen. I'm like, okay, they don't actually know, but like they somewhat know. But I gotta get on the rose hype that you've been on. She was giving, Justine was giving my husband pro tips for the bedroom last weekend, and so I think we have a lot to experiment
Yeah,
with.
yeah. Actually, and also really funny story, but when I was 16, I didn't know shit, and I went to my sister's house, and she had, like, a weed bowl, but it didn't have weed, and I was like, "Oh my god, Manu, I know what this is." And she started laughing, and she's like, "What?" And I was like, "A dildo." It was a weed bowl, like, I was so fucking dumb.
Wait, do you want to hear the funniest story ever?
Yeah.
So my sister, she's in third grade,
Mhm.
and she's at one of the school assemblies. Okay,
Yeah.
wait, I can't tell the story without laughing.
No, tell me, no.
Okay, in the school assembly, they're talking about friendships and kindness or whatever. So they're like, okay, finish this sentence. They go, sticks and stones may break my bones. And then the finish the sentence is words may never hurt me.
Right, right.
Richa raises her hand and goes, sticks and stones may break my bones, but chains and knives excite me. This assembly is dead silent. She gets pulled from the assembly, and they're like, what the fuck? And she's like, I just thought those were the words.
But
To be
chains
honest.
and whips excite me.
La la la, come on.
Wait, do you know what kind of makes me sad about that? Richa was in 3rd grade. I was in no, I was in high school.
Yeah, we were in high school.
I was, like, in 11th grade
Yeah.
or 12th grade.
But isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's actually the funniest fucking thing I've ever heard. Like, that's so fun. But chains
Because it's like, actually, most people don't know the end of that sentence now in this day and age. Okay, so somebody commented on my TikTok the other day, and they were like, "How do you and your husband split finances?" And I'm gonna be really fucking honest.
I don't.
We don't.
We don't.
We don't.
First
And
of all, that's a fucking red flag. I'm not like, no joke. I love you girls. If you want to work, all for that, whatever. But like any man that doesn't want to have a joint bank account or isn't being transparent with his accounts or has separate accounts, that's a fucking red flag. And I will say it again because I know there's going to be already like incel troll motherfuckers. This is not a two-way street. This is a one-way street. His money is our money, and my money is my money. And look, have I only made $600 from content creating?
wow, it went up
Sure.
$100 from last week.
But that's my money, okay? So just so we're clear, no, that's actually a fucking red flag because I know so many girls in my life personally that have been with guys that weren't transparent about money and they ended up being terrible in other aspects and like people ended up breaking up in divorces, et cetera, et cetera. So that is actually my number one. They must be generous with their finances from day fucking one. That means paying for the first date and everything. And look, I get it, guys. Like, I know that it's rough out there, inflation. Like, I'm not saying to just like waste it on every single girl, but if a girl is special, like, you should be fucking doing that and you should be courting her properly.
Exactly. And also, like, you know, if he starts being nitpicky of like, this is how much I paid, this is how much you paid, that's a red flag in the entire situation.
If you are Venmoing your man,
Oh, yeah.
that's so embarrassing. Like, for you
Exactly.
and for him.
And I just think now, like, people are like, "Oh, that's gold digging," or "That's something." No, it's not.
Okay, then I'm digging.
Yeah,
for
okay.
gold.
But all I'm saying is when I started dating my husband, I knew that I made a lot of money in my 20s. I worked like you worked in data analytics. Now that I know that it's data analytics and comms second, but worked in data analytics. I worked in tech. We made a fuck ton of our own money. And then I was at this point where I was like, if I'm going to marry somebody, I want them to be the provider. And
Yeah.
that was just something I went into. And I got that with Nav. Straight up, he told me, he's like, my family's a little more traditional. We live with our in-laws. Are you down for that? And I was like, I'm going to make his change. Like, I'm going to make him change his mind. But the one thing always that he did was because I'm more traditional, I always believe that I'm going to be a provider.
Aw.
And so I wanted that. And I
Yeah.
always knew that my income was going to be a nice to have, not to need a need to have.
Yeah.
And that's that's the kind of man I chase,
Yeah.
and that's the kind of man I wanted to be with.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I chased him, he chased me actually, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so, if you're, like, someone who's trying to date and stuff, look for a guy's ambition, and
Yeah.
also look for, like, be honest with his bank account because a lot of guys put up a front. I think somebody
Mm.
commented on one of your TikToks, how do you know when a man is flexing his money and being a fake ambitious person versus a real one?
I mean, honestly, women's intuition is so powerful. And I think the more that you can get in touch, like spiritually, with like your inner being and your inner self, like that will lead you that will never lead you astray, I should say. And I would talk to my therapist about this, like that gut feeling. And she's like, your gut feeling is actually not an impulsive feeling. Your gut is your body's way of aggregating all the data of everything that you've ever experienced in your whole life so that you can quickly shortcut and make a decision, which is like so incredible to think that we even have that ability. So with Akash, I feel like I knew that about him very early on, that he was very ambitious. He wanted to work hard and he wanted to be a provider. And interestingly, he was really not making that much money when we first got together. So it really depends. Like you have to look at like the quality of the person that
Yeah.
you're with and their ambitions. Like it's okay to be with someone that's not making a lot of money in the beginning because you can work through that. But the person has to be getting up every day, going to work, like chasing their dreams, doing all that stuff. And like, unlike Neho, I didn't make a fuck ton of money. I was working, but like I was not making a fuck ton of money. And candidly, I saw things that my mom went through in her marriage where my dad was very secretive, possessive, and just not generous at all. And I noticed that and I really hated that. And I just hated like how he would give things, but there would be strings attached, or like he would want my mom to spend her money before he even chipped in. And like, I don't even know how my mom managed to like pay my college tuition so many times, but she did. And like she's such a boss ass lady for that. So I knew that with my husband, I really, really, really like was looking for that. And also, like, this is like a random niche association, but if anyone has ever watched Real Housewives of New Jersey, like the OG seasons, like Melissa and Joe, who were like OG in like season 3, I was like, "Oh, I want that kind of lifestyle where her husband just takes care of like every need of hers," and I love that. But what I especially love, and I want to like separate for the girls, is like you don't have to be a trad wife for your man to be a provider. If you want to
Exactly.
do that, and that's amazing. And I'm not saying you shouldn't do things for your husband. You absolutely should do seva for your partner, but you don't have to just cook and clean. Like, you don't have to justify your presence as, wanting to be in your divine feminine energy and staying at home and not having as much stress, because as women, we aren't really that capable of handling stress to that degree that maybe men are because of our hormonal cycles. We need more sleep, we need more rest, and that kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, I also think money is such a sensitive topic, but it is the biggest reason why a lot of relationships don't work out.
Yeah.
So, as much as we're like, obviously, there's some truth to what we're saying and we're joking around and stuff, like, have those hard money conversations from the beginning.
Yeah.
Know how much each person makes. Be like, hey, what does the future look like? The one thing I will say, what Jasleen did, but she knew because Akash was ambitious, is you dated for the potential of Akash.
Yeah.
If you get red flags at the beginning, do never date for the potential of somebody in the sense where they're not getting up in the morning and they're
Yeah.
ambitious and they're lying to you about what they're actually doing. And they're like, they're dreaming. Okay, I think this is important to say. There is dreaming big and being like, I'm gonna make it. And there's like being like, okay, this person has everything in place to make it. I really believe in them and they believe in themselves and
Yeah.
like things like that. There's also these like hoax dream biggers where people just talk and talk. I've been with guys like that where they're like, yeah, one day I'm gonna be making like $500,000 a year. One day I'll be doing this. You're how much do you believe in that person? And that's your gut intuition that you keep saying
Mm.
is how much do you believe that that person is going to be bringing that much money in, or how much do you believe that that person's dreams are going to come true? And you have to separate that.
Yeah, and also with Akash too, I'll say like always had that ambition, but I think he really lacked the execution in terms of like organizational skills, and I feel like that's something I really helped him with. And we talked about things like this in couples therapy or like in various discussions, and I think you can have your relationship can be a work in progress. It doesn't have to be perfect
Yes.
from day 1, but don't ignore any red flags. And you can say, "Hey, like I noticed that, you're saying one thing, but maybe you're doing another. Like I just want to let you know that like I think you would be better off if you were doing X, Y, and Z or something because sometimes women are like often better at spotting those kind of
For
things.
sure.
So you have to see if the guy's receptive to that. You know what I mean?
Also, thoughts on, like, ultimatums in terms of, like, how many years would you give to somebody to, like, figure their shit out before being like, "Okay, I is that a good way to go, or is that not a good way to go in a relationship?" Because I'm always
Yeah.
curious on how that works. If I was somebody who was dating somebody who probably wasn't making a lot of money, but they had ambition and they were, like, doing something, I would be so happy that they're following their dreams, but at some point, there has to be a cap if we're thinking about a future and a family and, like, supporting that lifestyle of, like, "Hey, like, if this doesn't work out in, like, 5 years, like, can you go back to a 9 to 5 or can you
Yeah.
go back to tech?" What do you think about that?
I mean, I would say, look, I would give it 3 to 4
I
years.
think so too.
I think once you're approaching 5 years, you're starting to it's a sunk cost. I don't know what that means. I think it applies though.
Equity, sunk cost.
STEM. No, I just think when it comes to 5 years, you wanna, like, look out for your own timeline and look out for yourself and maybe, like, things just aren't aligning. If it's by 5 years, you guys just aren't on the same page, like, you'll kind of know, and I will say around 2 years is when you'll probably get to the bumpiest part of your relationship because the honeymoon stage is over,
For sure.
the lustful stage is over, and then you start getting to the real nitty-gritty problems, and I'm definitely an advocate for living with each other beforehand. I know that's not always a possibility
I agree with
for
that.
people that, yeah, come from traditional families and stuff, but I think it makes a really big difference before you get married to kind of understand that about each other, so
My counter to that,
yeah.
actually. So I really wanted to live with Nav before I got married, but his parents are obviously traditional, as you
Yeah.
guys know. And so I couldn't do that. But I will say the trade off, now seeing people live together and stuff, is after marriage, nothing really changes for a lot of
Mhm.
people. And so because of that, it's like, what's new in your life? And I will say, because we didn't live together, it has been so exciting. Like, I wake up every morning just being like, this is so fun and new. And I
Aw.
feel like if I live together, would I still have that feeling? I don't know.
I mean, so I did it. I lived together before I got married. I will say it makes the Vadai really stupid
Yeah,
and not as emotional.
obviously.
So that's the only downside is like whatever. But there still was a difference when I got married because I felt more security. I think
Yeah.
Akash said he felt the same because he said for men, like, when I decided to propose, that's when I was like, "Okay, I know I'm ready for this, and, like, this is what I wanna do, and this is my commitment." But for me, like, even though we had already lived together, I felt like it was still special because I felt more security, and we had also moved into this, like, beautiful new
Oh, see,
apartment.
that's cute.
Yeah, after like, which was a big
You need to do
upgrade,
that.
yeah, from our old apartment in Secaucus
But
with
that's
all
still
the
doing
IT
something.
Indian people,
Yeah,
yeah.
but that's still doing something in terms of, like, you get a new place together, and so a lot of times people move into the same place and it becomes
Yeah,
repetitive,
yeah.
which is you wanna do something new after marriage, but
That's
another
true, maybe
yeah.
move into an upgraded
Yeah,
place.
that's a good advice.
Yeah.
But, one other green flag I wanna talk about is when you date somebody, see how they treat the people around them. And so it's
Mm,
like, what are their relationships with their parents in terms of, like, how do they speak to their parents? How do they treat your sister?
yeah,
Also, how do they tip waiters? And,
that's
like,
so
tipping
true.
waiters is a big one.
And how they treat your family,
Yeah.
huge.
So big.
Yeah.
And also just, like, how they are with their boys, like, do they get into locker room talk with them, or are they the same version of
Yeah.
themselves, like, whatever?
Right, do they go crazy with their boys? Also, are their boys fucking annoying?
Yeah.
Like, that's also gonna be telling.
And also, how do they talk about you? Do they talk about
Mm,
you when they're with you the same way outside?
so
Like, when they're
true.
talking to their boys and stuff, and, like, they're like, "Oh, this girl makes me so happy." Like, if they're completely, like, locker room trash talking again, or not even acting like you exist, red flag.
Red
I
flag.
think bye.
I agree.
Because I always say this, you're only, like, the
Bye.
yeah, bye, boy, bye.
Yeah.
But yeah, I always say this, you are the version of yourself around the 5 closest people to you, and
That's
so
so true.
you gotta make sure, like, everyone
Birds
is a
of a
huge fan.
feather.
Okay, what celebrities do you think are green or red flags? I think
I
Jacob
think
Elordi
Jacob Elordi's
is
a
a red
red
flag.
flag.
I'm sorry to bust your bubble.
No, he is. Chase Crawford, green.
Green.
Okay, honestly, if I'm gonna be honest, any guy that hot is a red flag because something with men, like when women are courting men, their brain chemistry gets fucking rewired. Like they just become in this whole different stratosphere because that so rarely happens that like I don't trust a man that's that good
Oh,
looking.
for sure. With Michael B. Jordan, like, why did Lori Harvey break up with you? Like, you're a red flag.
I think they were together for PR though.
Okay, I heard that she actually didn't want marriage and kids, so she was the red flag in the relationship.
Yeah, I thought they were together just because she kind of wanted to clean up her like
Image.
Hotation image. Not
Yeah.
that I think that of her, but like whatever, regressive society. Michael B. Jordan, I'm kind of out on him. I feel like he's corny lately.
What? One thing I was talking to Akash about actually when I came over was around psychics and superstitious things.
Psychex.
Psychics, sidekick. No, I'm like, do you believe in spirits and do you believe in psychics and do you
Yeah.
believe in all that stuff?
Totally. I mean, like, and I also really believe in it from like a Hindu perspective and like astrology and like
Yeah.
cosmic stuff. But what I don't believe in, I don't believe, I believe in Nazar, but I don't believe in letting it dictate my life. Where, like, if something good happens to me and then I get a headache, and then people are like, oh, Nazar, see it? I'm like, no,
That's not
like,
how it works.
that's called life. And to me, like, I believe, and like my mom taught me this, like, of like God being more powerful and special to you, and like like God to me is so much more powerful than someone else's like insecurity and small-mindedness. So like if I just like feel like I work on my connection with God and be a good person, like that is in itself an amulet from Nazar.
I
Like
agree with
you're
that.
never going to stop people from being jealous, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't live your life and share in your joys. Now if you're sharing your joys to make put other people down, that's a different thing.
Yeah.
You can share your joys and want to find a like-minded community, want to share your happiness with others, want to inspire people. Like if you're doing it for the right reasons, then that's going to lead to the right results.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think I've had a few moments though when I've had conversations with these like psychic and pundits and stuff. It's not even Nazar related, but they've like tried to predict my future and they say some
Mm.
really fucked up shit. And so
That
then I
no,
get
I don't believe
anxiety.
in that.
They told me that I was going to have a miscarriage. And I was
They
like, "Why
told
would
you
you
that?
tell me that?" It stuck with me for like the last 10 years.
First of all,
And if it does happen, like okay, God forbid it doesn't, but if it does happen,
but also like
it
let's
happens to you.
normalize it.
Yeah.
Like I had a friend, she had 3
Yeah.
miscarriages and now she has a beautiful
But I
healthy
hate
baby boy.
knowing. I hate
No, and it's like
knowing.
the fact that they even said that is fucked up because it's like just you don't have to put that energy out there, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And like, look, God forbid, even if you did, that doesn't make anything wrong with you. I could easily have a it's just a part of being a woman and it's a part of the journey
Yeah.
of pregnancy. And of course it's sad and it sucks,
Yeah.
but it's like that doesn't it could happen to anyone.
But it's like knowing that if it ever does happen, that's when I'm gonna rationalize it saying, "Oh, they told me." Because now that I
Mm.
know, I wish I never knew.
No, fuck
But you
that.
know
That's not why it
but you
happened.
know a lot of times psychics and even pundits can sometimes be scammers because
Yeah.
on my wedding day, they told me there was this many auspicious days. We couldn't do any of those days when we were getting married, so we just paid the pundit and we're like, "Can you change the date?" And he was like, "All right, I think I found one more auspicious day." I'm
No.
like, "You guys,
See, okay, that's so true. And okay, so
pundits are scammers."
no, okay, not to talk shit about Hinduism. Like, I love my Hindu peeps. So, in Sikhism, like, we don't traditionally believe in like superstitions and stuff. Now, I feel like I kind of fall in between. Like, some stuff I believe in, some stuff I don't. But I will say it was funny because my husband's obviously Hindu, and we did a puja at our apartment. And then we pay he charged us $700, and then he drove off in his Lexus, and I kind of felt weird after, and I was like, the vibes were good, but, like, Panditji driving home in a Lexus, it just felt a little weird.
Yeah, every time I go to the temple, they're like, "Oh, like, have you been doing anything for you and your husband?" I'm like, "Oh, no, yeah." They're like, "We'll do something special for $500 or $300." I'm like, "Okay, I think we're good right now."
Yeah,
It
yeah.
feels a little like I don't know,
Yeah, like,
not
it's
Disneyland.
like yeah, I guess.
But okay, did you have any superstitious like in your superstitions in your house growing up? Like we couldn't put our flip flops upside down or shoes upside down.
No, so I didn't have that as much in my household because I think I grew up in a sick household and
Okay.
they don't like to participate in that stuff as much. But I remember Akash, which I had never heard this before about books.
Oh,
Like
oh
put
my God!
I see, so that's so funny because so many Desi people grew up with that and I never grew
You
up with
can't
that.
touch your feet to books.
Yeah, well, I think I put a cup on top of a book and he was like, "Hey, like I would just ask that you not do that."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Who gives a fuck?" Because of me being difficult. And now I don't. Like I'm more respectful of
Well
books.
well, every time I hit your leg, I always go like this. I don't know if you've noticed. I've done
No,
that
I
in the podcast. I
don't.
did it at your house and stuff.
I actually never noticed
Yeah,
that.
because you're not supposed to touch your foot to somebody. And so I'm always like, "Oh, I'm so sorry."
Oh, that's so
Yeah, but
sweet.
growing up, like I used to accidentally put in high school, I used to accidentally put my feet on shoes like in the classroom, and I didn't want anybody to think I was weird to go like this all the time. So I would always do this the thing where I would like touch the book and I would just go like this. And hopefully like nobody
Mehuna.
would notice. But during Wicked when they stepped on all the books,
Yeah.
wild. wild. You know how
Because
much pop people are
he
gonna
was
get?
like squishing it like a bug with his boot.
Uncomfortable.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, oh, like even at your house, you tried to hand me like a knife the other day. I was like, put it down.
No, I
You
literally
can't
like
hand knives.
no, I there's nothing that I recall that I
No
grew
wonder
up
you
with.
get into so many fights. Just kidding.
Yeah,
Like,
literally,
all of these
like
things are like fight things. Don't leave your shoes upside down. Don't hand a knife or scissors to somebody.
no, I feel like I do maybe that's why I always step in shit by accident. I have a knack for stepping in dog shit. It's the worst. So, yeah.
Wait, have you ever had like bird poop? I hate when people say that shit's like lucky. I'm like, it's unlucky.
No, it is actually supposed to be good luck.
Like a bird shitting on my head.
A bird shit on my head twice.
You're so lucky.
I feel like it is so
You're
lucky,
so
though.
lucky.
No, the first time I was like, "Oh my god. Oh my god." And then Akash is like, really he's like, "No, no, no, you're fine." He's like, "There's a little in your hair," or whatever.
Wait, also the other thing I wanted to tell you is I watched Sayara this past weekend finally.
I saw your TikTok about that, and you were like, "What has been the last good Bollywood movie?" Because, like, you felt like Sayara was overhyped.
So overhyped.
Really? Because I was gonna watch that.
You should watch it, but I think you would hate it.
Really?
Okay, do you know the plot? I'm not gonna spoil it.
No, don't spoil it, but
Yeah.
just give me a
Wait,
summary.
watch it. No, it's just boy meets girl, girl meets boy. Some shit happens in their life, and their love life gets disarray.
Wait, so it's really, like, not that good?
I had like 3 tears that come, but I was thinking of Nav, and this situation happened to
Aw.
me in Nav. That's why I started like tearing
Wait,
up.
now I wanna watch
Watch it. I'm
Okay,
still telling
okay.
you to watch it, but I'm just like I don't like new Bollywood at all.
Yeah, I think this is goes back to what we were saying about nepo babies and people, at least I've heard in India, they kind of feel like they've kind of ruined the Bollywood
For sure.
industry because it's really hard and I feel like it's also what's happening with the state of cinema in America. It's really hard to capture the same magic of like Kabhi Kushi Kabhi Gum, Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, and like
Yeah.
such classics. And I also think there was like too much of a movement in like this indie kind of direction where we kind of lost like the magic of like movie
Yeah, like
soundtracks,
woke music or woke
rom-coms.
movies. Yeah.
Yeah, and like things like that. And I wish we could kind of step back into the magic of like cinema.
But no, the reason I was bringing this up is because Lily Singh's new movie, Doing It, came out.
I want to watch
I really
that.
want to watch
Let's
it.
watch it together.
Yeah, and I think we should do a debrief on it. But one of the things that people have been talking about since the movie came out is what was your Bollywood sexual awakening?
Oh.
Like there were moments for me. Like one was when Kata Laga the song came out. I was like feeling myself like Kata Laga.
What was my Bollywood sexual awakening?
The other moment for me was Dhoom 2 seeing Suneri, the golden girl. But-
Suitneri.
Suneri.
That's interesting because you chose women.
Yeah, that was probably mostly okay. Salman Khan, oh Jana Jana.
Ew.
Ah,
I will say, okay, because I'm always a late bloomer, my sexual awakening was Ye Jawani Hai Diwani. Okay, I know I was in college,
stop.
but like Ranveer in that movie.
Ranbir Kapoor
and when
sucks.
he's like,
I hate Ranbir Kapoor.
okay, fine. He's probably a terrible person that
No,
makes
no,
all
wait,
your
wait,
bud
you-
wipe off his lipstick and shit. But like that, him in that movie, like, did kind of like rewire my sexual.
But is that your
chemistry.
type? Ranbir Kapoor?
Not anymore, but like he was so hot and
Yeah.
tall, and he's like Mera naam Bunny, like Bugs Bunny, and I was like, okay, like,
All right, I'll be your Lola bunny.
but okay, for girls, I would also say Suneri from
Like,
Dhoom
do you
2,
remember that
Crazy
moment?
Kiya Re, Kamali to Katrina
Oh
Kaif.
yes.
Oh, Deepika in Lovely.
Oh my god.
That her
Remember how
abs
she did that?
gyrating.
I remember that so clearly.
Oh my god, can we overlay a picture of her
Yes.
abs? Because that gave me body dysmorphia for the rest of my life,
For
but like
sure.
well deserved.
Wait, so everyone always says that, you know, your type in childhood versus your type that you got married to.
Mhm.
And my type in childhood was like John Abraham. I definitely think Naveen gives me John Abraham vibes.
Wait,
I married my childhood crush.
Nav looks like John
He
Abraham.
literally does.
Oh my god, good for you.
I manifested that shit.
Oh my god, I'm almost jealous as I'm saying that. You're right. Nav looks like fucking John Abraham.
Yeah. And then I was talking to my girlfriends about like what their type is in terms of Bollywood actors. And I realized in general with men, I like more of a built type. I like,
Yeah.
as you know, I like abs. I like abs and bank accounts. Abs and bank
I
accounts.
love abs. Yeah,
I love shoes. I like shoes. Do you remember that?
I have purse. Who was my type growing up? I don't know.
Nick Jonas?
Yeah.
Joe Jonas was more my type.
Probably like Nick or Joe. I'm trying to think childhood crushes. I did have a poster of Hrithik Roshan I would rub Vaseline on.
Where?
to moisturize him. I don't know. I was a fucking weirdo.
You are a weird kid.
Youngest child, only child tendencies.
You know what's so funny? Somebody commented
I
saying
okay, wait, can I just say I'm so weird that I would play Go Fish with myself. I would be like, "Do you have any threes?" Not even joking. Get up, be like, "Nope, Go Fish." Like such a fucking weirdo. Like lonely child on an island
it's
behavior.
kind of sad, but I'll play Go Fish
Yeah.
with you. But no, somebody commented recently on one of our videos and they wrote like, Justine, did you rub Vaseline on your face so you could be like, no, I just did it to the Croatian.
I did last night. I put Aquaphor on my face.
Wait, so when I was little, my sister and I used to shower together because obviously we're
Ew.
sisters. That's
Okay, no,
not
yeah.
gross.
I actually just took a bath with my sister last weekend.
Why are you judging then?
No, you're right. You're right.
So I was like 8 years old. My sister was like 4 years younger. So they're like about 4 or 5 years old. And every time I would shower, I told her that every time water would come down my elbow, if she drank my elbow juice, her hair would get longer.
Ew.
I know. So every day she would come in the shower and be like, "Can I have your elbow juice, Gigi? Can I have your elbow juice?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you can have it today. I have a lot." And so then she would just like drink my elbow juice. And then I would be like, "Okay, stand like
Smart.
this." And then I'd be like, "Go like this." And I was like, "Look, your hair got longer." And so my sister's like trauma memory is like how much elbow juice she had to drink growing
Oh my
up.
god.
And that was my control tactic.
Wait, why did she call you Gigi and not Didi?
Because my parents think Didi is somebody you call at a store when you want to like buy something.
That's so classic. Oh my
They
god.
actually told me that. And so they're like, we say Gigi in our
Gigi's-
culture.
Okay.
And we go Gigi. And so my sister shortened it to Gigi.
No, that's so funny because everyone would be like, "Why don't you call your sisters? Why don't you call your sisters Didi?" And my sisters were actually like, "No, we don't want her to. We don't want her to."
Yeah.
Because I guess like they thought it was like lame or whatever. My like childhood trauma is when my sisters asked me to spell I cup, and then when they started laughing, I started crying, and I ran to my mom like a little bitch.
You know, recently my niece and nephew just did that to me. But you know what's crazy with these little kids? Like when we start to have kids, you're gonna realize how fucking funny kids are. Like we think
No,
about
they
your
are.
childhood stories. Like recently, Naveen was eating this like crunch wrap I made for him, and he's eating this crunch
I
wrap.
love a homemade crunch.
So
wrap.
good.
So good.
And so I made this crunch wrap. He's making a Snapchat to send to his friends, like, "Hey, my wife made this amazing crunch wrap." His nephew's sitting next to him. He's 5 years old. In this video, he goes, "This crunch wrap tastes like crack. It's so good." He hangs up the Snapchat, and his little nephew goes, "Naveen, mama, what's crack?" And Naveen's like, never use that word again. You shouldn't hear that." What?
Wait, that's so funny because I did something fucked up. So my sister's ex is Christian.
Yeah.
So his mom gave my nieces crosses.
You told me this.
So I go, "Oh, you so like Christian propaganda?" Which is such a bitchy thing to say. Like, I don't know what the fuck was I thinking. They're like 6 and like fucking 8. And they're like, "What's propaganda?" And then I think I also said horny in front of them. And they were like, "What's horny?" And I was like, "Well, your affinity for horns." Like, I just make up shit.
Literally, but it's crazy how quickly they pick up
Yeah.
things. And you probably, you have a niece, like you have nieces too, and you probably see it firsthand. Like it's
Yeah.
crazy. They
They're
pay
little
attention to
bitches
everything.
sometimes.
I know, right?
But I love them. I love them so much.
But actually, because we have so many like little sister and niece stories, I kind of want to talk about bullying in general.
Mm.
Because did you get bullied when you were younger? And
Yeah.
did you deal with cyberbullying now? But same.
I do. Sorry. At least it's not my mom. You dumb fucking cunt. Kill yourself, you anorexic bitch.
Literally.
But I think because I was like in a very white Caucasian
Same.
school and my dad wore a turban or bug like post 9/11, like you kind of just stick out more. So I think that added to that element. But I think I would just get a lot of like side eye from white girls. Like I did cheerleading in middle school and like all the other girls on the team were really mean to me or said I smelled. One of them said I smelled like a hamster one time. Things like that in cheerleading, I did get bullied. And then I didn't even make the cheerleading team in high school. And I feel like it was just because I was like brown and like not as like cute as the other girls because I really was a late bloomer.
I think during our time, it's like being brown.
Yeah.
It wasn't normalized.
And
Now,
like just also being a late bloomer and
Yeah.
like having hair and like, you know, I think nowadays, like moms are taking their girls to do their eyebrows and do like our moms were not doing that shit. Like we were lucky if we could go once a month.
yeah, and also now moms are getting their kids laser at 15, which is amazing.
I would do that, to be
I would do that for my kid
I would
too.
be do
If they came to me though, I'm not gonna
You would do
suggest
that
it.
and put her in a Nickelodeon show the next day.
Shut
You
up!
would get her a nose job and be like, "Here, Dan Schneider, here."
No, but I feel like during the time I had to ask my mom, like, "What's deo? How do you put deodorant on?" She wouldn't help me. The first time I bought a
What's
tampon
DO? Why did you call it DO?
deo.
Yeah, why are you calling it that?
What do you call it?
Deodorant.
We call it deo.
That's weird. That's fobby, I
No,
feel.
it's not.
That's Miles, that's weird that she's
Do you
calling
call it
it
deo?
DO.
You've never okay, I think this is an East Coast thing.
I know, I
East Coasters, don't come at
don't know. This
me.
is a fobby thing.
No, my friends and I are like, "Oh, do you have
This is
deo?
why
Can I borrow?"
Nahal thinks Diesel is coming back.
Okay, anyways, as I was saying,
Yeah.
didn't get my like I didn't shave or do anything at a young age because I didn't know how to, and then later in life, people are making fun of my mustache. You got made fun of your beard.
Mustache.
When I got bullied back in the days, like, I used to be peeing in the bathroom stall, and the people next door, 2 girls would, like, look up and watch me pee.
Ew.
Yeah, and they would just be laughing like, "Ha, ha, ha, ha," while I was peeing.
Yo, kids really be laughing at like normal bodily functions. Like, when cause I was always a big pooper, always had IBS. So I'd be like, dude, like the panic I would feel pooping. And also in the US, like in Europe, the doors go all the way down. In the US, they want to fucking embarrass you.
Yeah.
Like they're trying to do something. That's diabolical having these stalls with like cracks and shit. And so then I would like just keep flushing. Oh my God. Wait, one time though, in high school, before we were leaving for the Model UN trip to Hershey, Pennsylvania, I used to go. There was one private bathroom in the school. It was in the library. So coincidentally, all of like the Model UN team was like waiting in the library for the buses. So I'm like, let me use the bathroom real quick. I have to shit. And so like everyone was like waiting outside the door. And when you're like thinking it's not going to be a loud fart, that shit was loud, echo, boom, reverberated. And I was like, oh my God, because it was loud enough to hear outside the door. And then I just heard laughter outside the door, and it was like
Oh my that was
it was
social
my junior
suicide.
year.
It's social suicide.
It was like my junior year, I was like, "Fuck, I have one more year with these people."
Wait, my junior year, so I was giving a presentation in my English class, and I was talking about, like, all the different fairy tales. Do you know the Grimm fairy tales?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so they're, like, the real
That's actually funny because my friend did that same topic
Yeah.
for her presentation.
Yeah, and so I was talking about the real versions of fairy tales and stuff. So
Like
in The
Little
Little
Mermaid?
Mermaid, she dies.
She turns to foam.
Exactly. And so in Snow White, I was trying to say, like, the dwarves eat her, but I accidentally said the dwarves ate her out in my presentation.
Wait, also it's dwarves.
Dwarves.
You keep saying dwarves.
No, I'm saying dwarves. But the dwarves ate her out, and I said that in my presentation, and I literally people tweeted about it. Like, I could find the tweets. I was viral for being stupid. And I didn't even know what ate her out meant at the time, probably.
I was like, I didn't even know what that meant in high school.
And I was like, why is everybody laughing at my presentation?
Oh my God.
But yeah, I feel like if you're getting bullied right now, I don't even know how to deal with it. It gets better because I think they see girls have a glow up.
Yeah.
And I think it's all related to just how we feel and that inner confidence.
Yeah.
But it's really hard in the moment to get past it.
I will say too, like, so I wasn't getting bullied during this time, but my PCOS flared up really bad for me when I was 22. And I had this was the most miserable time of my life. I was doing a co op at Goldman Sachs. I had to wake up at 5 o'clock every day, go to the most like cutthroat job I've ever gone to. Didn't know a single soul in San Francisco because I thought my brilliant idea was to move out there to get over my ex. And on top of that, I started getting laser hair because I guess my sisters bullied me because they were just like, oh, your sideburns are like really extra. You should get laser. And I was like, okay. So I went to a med spa, fucking first red flag there. And I had what is commonly known as like a paradoxical effect. So the hair on my face started growing back thicker.
Oh no.
And also my mom and sister like were kind of thinking that I was being hyperbolic or histrionic and not really like understanding the gravity of it. And I had to sit next to this guy at work who I thought was really cute. And it was just like the most humiliating thing to get acne, have beard hair, work at this 12-hour job that's really hard, not even have like the funds to get laser hair. Like I was like had no money. Like I barely had $50 left for
Yeah.
myself. So that was the hardest time of my life. And no, I wasn't getting bullied, but like I was bullying myself. I was so insecure. Like it was awful.
I know. How did you kind of get your into your confident era?
It took 10 years.
I know. It took me a really long time
It
too.
took a really long time. I think the 20s, I would never go back. They were the hardest time of my life. So I will say if you are struggling in your 20s, like you are not alone. I was there. Like, I have so many stories like the one I just shared. It's fucking hard. You have very low income. I didn't come from generational wealth. Like, my relationship had its own struggles. Like, I had my own struggles with my family that I've talked about. So, it's just a really fucking hard time, and I tried to pray and, like, have my faith in God and, like, just maintain that things were gonna get better, and I feel like slowly but surely, every year things got a little bit better and a little bit better, and there were some dips, like, not everything is linear, but now I feel like, knock on wood, my life like, if I looked at my life back then, like, to see what it was now, I would be so happy and so proud and so, like, amazed, and so all that to say, it does get better, like, it just takes time.
For me, I would say what really made my 20s something to remember was and my confident era and stuff is really putting myself out there. I remember when I
Mm,
got to college, I was like really into dance. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna try out for the dance team. And finally losing, my biggest fear was actually rejection. And
mhm,
once I got over that fear of rejection and being like, the worst thing that could happen is I won't make this dance team.
mhm,
And the worst thing that could happen is I won't get this job. The worst thing
mhm,
that could happen is this guy doesn't like me. I think I was so focused on like needing things to work out. And once I let myself fall a few times, I realized like really good outcomes came from
mhm.
it. And so I ended up like going to college, joining the dance team. I became captain of it in my third year.
Ooh,
And I was like, okay, this is like building my confidence slowly and finding pockets of things that you like. Like for us right now, it's content creation. Sometimes content creation is great, sometimes it isn't. But then I'm like, okay, my relationship. Okay, if I'm not feeling fulfilled in my relationship, maybe look at my parents or like my a family life,
my
my
girlfriends,
girls.
yeah,
It's like you need to find happiness in something. And the best advice I can give to somebody is you can never be 100% in every aspect of your
yeah,
life. You're gonna have like 20% maybe in your relationship one day and 80% in your work life. Or me and Jasleen, we are like 100% right now, 90%, or we could be 30%. But don't try to make your life perfect. Perfect does not exist.
yeah, it doesn't.
It really doesn't.
Developing that relationship with yourself is so important in your 20s and doing things to help facilitate that, whether it's meditation,
Yeah.
reading, I don't know, affirmations,
Yeah.
creating a vision board, like getting to know more about yourself and embracing that. And I feel like that's the best thing you can do.
And I think as women, we lose our identity a lot. When you get married, it's like, oh, am I just a wife? Or when I'm with my family, am I just a daughter? It's like,
Mhm,
I don't know who the fuck I am every couple of years. I'm like
mhm,
rebuilding and regrowing. I'm not the same version I was 3 years ago. I'm not the same version I was 3 years before that. And so it's constantly checking in with yourself of like what makes you happy and don't let external things make you happy. It
yeah,
really needs to be what you can do.
yeah,
Because if it all goes away, are you still happy?
yeah, yeah,
Oh, I feel so connected to you after this pod. It's crazy how we go from like relatability to deep, relatability to deep, and then just like fucking funny ass stories.
yeah,
And I think the girlies, like, I hope you guys are listening to this, just like thinking about your own life and being like having your own stories, and it's sparking conversations in your friend group. Like, oh, this happened to Nahal and Jasleen. This happened to
yeah.
me.
I love that.
But I needed to ask you, are you watching Dancing with the Stars?
No, I'm just seeing Alex Rose vlogs about it.
So good. It's so good. You need to watch it.
Okay.
I was not into Dancing with the Stars. I've never watched a single season of it ever.
But are they, like, not even that good
No,
at
they're
dancing,
really
right?
good.
Oh, they are?
They're so
How
fire.
is Alex doing? That's all I care about.
Fire. I think Alex Earl is doing good. Whitney, one of the Mormon wives, is doing good.
Really?
Yeah, Dylan Efron's fucking crushing it.
Oh, what
Yeah.
about Hilaria or whatever the
She
fuck?
was in the last, like, elimination last round.
She's so
I
dumb.
know. She was in the last elimination, but she made it, so she was, like, the final cutoff that they didn't cut her off.
Okay.
But you know what's crazy? The Baldwin family in general, a lot of people don't know how insane that family dynamics is. I feel like there
Yeah.
is more shit that needs to come out about this family. Like, why are we not talking about it?
It's just, like, the fact that her names of her kids are Eduardo, Rafael, fucking Valentina, fucking Enrique Iglesias. Like, I mean, those like, it's just like, "Bitch, that's weird.
That is.
You're weird." Like, it's like I can get, like, why I not why, I can get what she did, but to continue this for so long, it's like, it's enough now.
Yeah.
How you say, cucumber. So fucking weird.
I also think reality TV is finally coming back in the fall, which is why I love it.
Yeah.
Like the housewives are back, Salt Lake City, baby. I don't
I've
know.
never watched Salt Lake City.
So good.
Should I watch
I think
it?
it's top tier.
Should I start from season 1?
You should start from season 1.
Okay.
Like, it's just crazy. They're ex-Mormon communicated people. Like, one of the Mormon wives is married to her step-grandfather or something. It's crazy. Of the church.
I saw okay, wait, no, I wanna watch now.
But other than that, girlies, leave comments, like, subscribe, comment. We love doing this with you.
And send it to at least 1 friend.
Oh, I was gonna say 5, but 1 is good.
1 is good. I feel like 5 is, like, a little
A
much.
lot of people don't even have 5 friends.
I know. We have 5 friends, we're so lucky.
Yeah, me, you, Akash, Naveen.
Miles,
Miles!
happy.
And by the way, if you guys don't know, Miles is our amazing producer. He's always in the background of everything, so if you hear him laugh or hear us joke around, he's the best.
And we love him.
Love you guys, and drop your thoughts below.
Love it.